Hi, welcome back to the Underground Meadery. I'm Michael Jordan, and today we're going to make an apple crisp mead. We're going to be using an apple crisp, apple, some apple juice, some AB friendly honey clover, some regular water from the dollar store, and of always the coffee pot mix. Today I'm trying Ibn Bonchin de Basu, which means blueberry bloated seed. It is a blueberry mead with an infused chia seeds. The chia seeds have absorbed any water content, meaning it's a form of natural distillation, but you're going to be drinking the chia seeds anyway. It has a burst of the blueberry flavor as the seeds pop. So this is Ibn Bonchin. It's a boon, which is a Nordic for the blueberry bloated seed. So this one should be pretty good. That one was specially made for Permaculture Voices in San Diego, California. Very good. That's a 2-year-old age. That's pretty good. So, the jug we're using for fermentation, as always, is just the regular Cyser jug. Nothing special about them at all. I use them for fermentation. They expand well. They seem to do very well. So the first thing we're going to do is I've already got some hot water going because we're going to dissolve the honey. So we're going to put the honey in first. We're going to be using 2.5 pounds. So I'll be using this 2-pound jar and then half of the 1-pound jar that we have. This is AB friendly honey from Cheyenne, Wyoming. This is a wild clover. It runs about $8 a pound. So we've got 16, let's see, 8, 16, and of course there's about $20 in honey here. The gallon jug was $1, the apple juice is $1, and the apple is $1. So we're looking about $18, so we're still underneath our $20 mark for basically making mead. This one is an apple mead. I got good honey there going. We'll set that one out. We'll get this other one. We'll pour half of this one in. This one will be the 1/2 pound marker here. Ooh, yeah. That's my favorite part, is that sugar. A good half, a little bit more. I try to keep all my meads at about 2.5 pounds of honey. Now, you can go 1 pound, and the alcohol content will be about 9%, or you can go up to 4 pounds, where it'll be about 18%. The more sugar, the longer it takes to ferment, the sweeter it is. So those are some things to think about when you're doing stuff. So now I've got the honey in. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to add the hot water right away. So we can dissolve the sugars, right? Remember, the water's not boiling. We're not trying to kill any of the enzymes or anything, any of the honey. That's why we're using the coffee pot method. It's just enough to steep the honey to get it so we can use it, right? Right now I'm using clover honey for most of my mixes because I got a lot of honey from AB Friendly Company. So we're using just a lighter color honey on most of the stuff. Some more hot water in there. Now, what we're making actually is called a Cyser, is what this is called. Apple honey like this is called Cyser. Now, if you want to get super exotic into this, you can add apple blossom honey instead of using the white clover honey. You can also add a cup of apple pollen to it. And I mean, that would be pure apple. You'd be using, if you could use the pollen, the apples, the apple juice, and the honey all from the same source, you have made probably the most spectacular apple cider mead ever, if you're using all those components. So right now we've dissolved 2.5 pounds of honey in here. That's about all the water I'm going to use until I need to fill it all the way up. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stuff in some apples. We've already cut them and diced them. The knife came from the dollar store, just a plastic knife, easy to use, easy to clean. And we're just definitely just stuffing the apples in. We want the yeast to attack these here in a minute. That's why I'm adding the apples first. We want the apples to get the honey on it and the sugar water on it. So that way the yeast will attack it and getting as much of the apple crisp taste that we can out. So we've dumped in a half an apple crisp apple.
That was a whole apple.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dump the apple juice in. So I used a whole apple. I didn't use half of it, we'll just use the whole apple. And then I'm going to use the rest in apple juice. So basically what we've done is we've just melted the honey down so the sugar content is, and we're just using all apples and apple juice for this ferment. This will be a Cyser. This will have a huge apple taste, front and back. The juice itself can be heated when it's done and drank in the wintertime and chilled in the summertime. So this is a 2-compartment mead. It's a winter and summer mead. Most of the time drank in the fall, warmed up just as the snow starts to hit around November. In the summertime they usually drink it usually around the beginning of June before all the citrus happens. And sometimes they add a nut to it. Now I'm just going to top this off with just a little bit of water on the top. I'm going to give it a good shake. Get everything kind of mixed, and we're going to get some of that honey on those apples. Now, as always, right, we're going to wait 24 hours with this. We're going to take a temperature reading. We're going to take a hydrometer reading. We're going to label it all and mark it all down. And we're going to dump our yeast in it. We'll let this one ferment. This is an apple Cyser. Thanks for joining us here at an AB Friendly Company. I'm going to pour a little bit of this out and take a little taste and to make sure that it's something that I want, if I got to blend a little more apple juice or not. But I think right now this is going to be a pretty good little blend, and I'm going to grab a glass and we'll take a little pitch. Thank you very much.
Underground